And if you had normal arches, you got a normal New Balance shoe,
So
right?
These ones here hurt my feet.
These hurt my feet, sir. So I reckon if you were to get me these shoes for these flat-footed fellas,
you better turn it the fuck up. Remember, I said you better turn it up. He said, "I reckon I'll turn it up a notch."
I reckon I'll turn it up a notch or two.
I reckon and what did he do instead of slamming recruit
So
off deck?
he would. So when they leave the duty hut, they would pound the hatch and say "recruit off the deck." But Meyers
He did
had
it with his elbow.
he had a shoe in each hand,
And he nodded at me.
and he turned it up a notch or two.
And recruits going off the deck.
Recruits going off the deck.
Recruits going on. I
Jesus
just
Christ.
said, get the fuck out of my office. I knew I was going to drop him.
Friends, once again, here's the JC and Bo Show here on the friendly confines of State Road 34 near the Putnam-Lincoln border in West Virginia. And our good friend, retired Lieutenant Colonel Chris Harden is here with us. And as we arrived here at Bo's place to shoot this thing, we were talking about our enlisted roots. And we referred back to the officer's manual of 1894 where it says, enlisted men are cunning and deceitful and bear considerable watching. Bo, what do you got to say about that?
You can go fuck yourself.
Well, now, hold on. I'm just telling you what the book said.
Oh, just because you two became officers, now all of a sudden they're better than me.
No, we all resemble that remark. What we do as Lance Corporals will echo for eternity.
Okay, I've seen the movie 300, sir.
Marines never lie, cheat, or steal. So I
No,
think
what
all
was
that.
that movie called? What the hell was that movie called?
What
Gladiator.
What we do in life
Gladiator.
echoes for eternity.
Great
There you
show,
go.
great
There
show.
you go.
Great show. Did you see how they did that show, though? JC, when they sent their indirect fire, they softened the target, then they sent in their infantry. By the time the infantry got there, their heads were down. Perfect tactics.
Speaking of echoing in eternity, how in the Lord did you make it as a green belt drill instructor from Paris Island under the tutelage of one senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Bodette, all the way to Lieutenant Colonel? Not only did you not get voided, you made it to be a field grade officer. Chris, the people want to know, man.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, I think it is safe to say that without this fine American to my left, I would not have made it past the rank of Staff Sergeant because I told him earlier I didn't do anything he told me to do because my preferred method of learning was the hard way. And I had second and third chances at Paris Island, and if it were not for Bodette, I would have been done. Because
one of the greatest phone calls that I ever received in my life was from Lieutenant Colonel Harden. It was the day he retired. He was walking out of the Pentagon. He said, "Bo, you're the only phone call I'm going to make." He said, "I'm walking out of the Pentagon right now as a lieutenant colonel, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Because if it wouldn't have been for you, I damn sure would have. You'd have got out probably as a corporal." That's what you said, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that resonated with me. And I said, later on that day, I told my wife, I said, "Man, that resonated with me." I thought, you know what? I did do something right. Because he had a family, and I knew he was a great Marine. I knew he was going to go places, and hey, I had to do what I got to do. And that's all we're going to say about that, folks.
well, I didn't have a retirement ceremony because I think they're gay.
I agree.
And I was done with all of the pomp and circumstance, and I really just wanted to leave the Marine Corps on a good note. And as I was walking out to go to the metro platform to catch the bus back to where I live in Northern Virginia, I thought, well, I have to make one phone call, and that was the one phone call I made.
That was probably the best. It was. I mean, when I hung up that phone with you, I was like, holy shit, man. Because I didn't talk to you for, 15 years? Every once in a while, we call each other or tell each other to pound sand or something.
Every once in a while. I think you called me when I was a warrant officer in a 53 squadron, and you said, "Don't think I'm going to be calling you sir."
That sounds about right.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. But no, I honestly made a very, very bad mistake, and I made it in front of God and everyone on the PT field.
Okay.
Where he told me not to do what I did, and I
He
did.
didn't make a mistake. He did everything that every goddamn drill instructor that has ever wore that campaign cover that cared about training recruits the right way has done. His situational awareness sucked. Okay? That's all I got to say.
Yep. But I was done. They belt and cover.
A little closer.
Belt and cover was put on the first sergeant's desk, and I was told to go home. And I think I'd been a staff sergeant for a hot minute, and I thought that was it. And then I get a phone call at 1600 and said, "Get back."
Same day.
Get back to work.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. You don't have many fears in the Marine Corps, but the only one that I ever had was I do not want to roll out that front gate and it says Staff Sergeant Knight, thanks for 20 years of service. Like, man, at least let me get to gunny.
Right.
At least let me get to gunny.
Hey, you got to admit, when you're a drill instructor, that is the only job in the Marine Corps where you don't want to get sent home early.
After working 120 hours a week.
You don't want to get sent home.
Man.
Remember other drill instructors wouldn't even talk to you.
It was like you were a leper in the biblical times.
Don't get caught talking to him. You'll be a part of the investigation.
Yeah, especially if you were mowing the grass.
Oh, yeah.
No one would talk to you if you were mowing the grass.
And then there's guys that get superstitious about it, right? Don't let anybody see you around him. It's like he's got leprosy.
Yeah. Don't talk to him. He's under investigation. Yeah. You'll become part of it, too.
It's
out there in a soft cover.
It's contagious.
Mowing grass.
It's contagious.
Raking the pit.
Raking the pit. Mowing grass or raking the pit.
What's that like when you guys get in trouble? Do you feel like
it's the worst feeling in the world because everything you've done up until that point is done?
Well, right, because listen, you put your whole if you're worth a shit as a drill instructor, you put your whole heart and soul into that fucking job. Am I right?
Yes.
I mean everything.
And if you're good, I think a lot of us self-induced stress.
Yeah.
To do good.
Oh yeah.
And I've said this before, and I mean this. The loneliest Marine in the Marine Corps is a brand new drill instructor.
Oh, absolutely. You're one step above the guide.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially if you were like me and you were born a poor black child with no rhythm like Steve Martin and the Jerk. Because rhythm I did not have.
Or if you had to work for a senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Bodette.
Hey, y'all tell me a story about country. I heard you all talk about country. I want to hear a story about country.
Remember, they come in and tell me, "Hey, boss, this country some bitch is going to send me to jail.
We're going to go to jail."
During the health inspection. Remember?
During the hygiene inspection.
He looked down the aisle.
He would get tired of waiting on us, and so he would just kind of like put his hand on his hip and lean down and look.
What taking you guys so long?
What the hell is taking them so long? Was he from West Virginia?
I don't know.
I think he was.
No, he had to be from Texas.
He's somewhere in Appalachia.
He had to be.
He has to be somewhere from Appalachia.
From Appalachia.
Because he's got to be east of the Mississippi.
But it was bad. So that was the platoon that I got in trouble in.
I remember.
It was shortly after I got in trouble, and I came back to work, and Bodette told me, all right, I worked a deal. The company commander and I go way back. He was my platoon commander in what unit?
1-6.
1-6. So here's the deal. You've got to be twice as loud, twice as fast, twice as intense, but you can't touch them, even if it's in accordance with the 8 times the SOP said you could touch them.
I had to pretty much promise my firstborn.
Yeah.
Well,
I said if he does anything wrong.
Well, I want what I want to get to is I've heard this story countless times, and it is the funniest. And what I want to hear about is how he came to your hatch, Bo, when you were the senior drill instructor, and the way that he announced his presence.
Let me take it up to the point where I had to go hide in the head. So Bo was the senior, I was the heavy, the green belt, the experienced drill instructor in the parlance of our West Coast brothers. And it's early in the training cycle, so the recruits are lining up after lights out to talk to Big Daddy, to talk to the senior. And this kid, we called him Big Country. It wasn't because he was big, but he was country, and he had to be like, tall. Yeah, he was 4 foot.
Remember gear hanging off and fucking just nasty.
He was nasty, and so he was a little bitty feller, and he was very country, and so I'm changing over, lights out, the recruits interact, are lining up to bang on the senior drill instructor's hatch and tell him all their trials and tribulations. And Bo's like, get the hell out of here, go home. And I'm changing over, and they're lining up. And finally, he's like, just get in the head and change over and then leave. So I go into the head, slam the door shut, and they start pounding on the hatch. And he calls Big Country in. And
he needed new shoes.
I heard everything from this point, but I didn't see it, so I'll leave it up to you.
Bo, tell him how he knocked.
He came in with 2 go fasters, one in each hand.
He knocked like this. And went, I'm sitting at the desk, and I hear, dut, 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 dut. And I'm thinking, It's got to be something. I got to be another.
And for those of you that don't know, one of the most serious things when a recruit needs anything from a drill instructor, it's 3 loud open hand smacks
Sir,
on the wall.
Sir, recruit, son, request, I heard. I'm like,
Come on in, brother. Come on in, brother.
Seen that bald head peek around the corner.
Can we say his last name?
Tell him how he did. Listen,
He was a good kid. Meyers.
He ended up, yeah.
Myers. Recruit Meyers.
Yeah. He was worried about his shoes because one pair of shoes were for flat-footed fellers, and the other one was, I'm like, listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Motherfucker.
I'm going to make the drill instructor.
I'll make the drill instructors ensure that you have new shoes in the morning.
Because he was very slow.
hey, what about?
Well, he walked up to my desk, not centering himself. I thought he was going to, like, push some shit off my desk and have a seat on my desk. So I'm doing everything in my power, right? I'm like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
And I'm changing over in the head listening. And I hear Myers say, sir, this here shoe is for flat-footed fellers. Because they would issue shoes.
What is he, Sling Blade?
That's what he sounded like. So if you don't know, you would if you were flat-footed, you got a New Balance shoe that was for flat-footed fellers, and if you had normal arches, you got a normal New Balance shoe, right?
These ones here hurt my feet.
These hurt my feet, sir. So I reckon if you were to get me these shoes for these flat-footed fellers,
you better turn it the fuck up. Remember, I said you better turn it up. He said, I reckon I'll turn it up a notch.
I reckon I'll turn it up a notch or two.
I reckon and what did he do instead of slamming a recruit off deck?
He would. So when they leave the duty hut, they would pound the hatch and say "recruit off the deck." But Myers had
hit it with his elbow.
He had a shoe in each hand,
but he nodded at me,
and he turned it up a notch or two.
And recruits going off the deck.
Recruits going off the deck.
Recruits going
Jesus
off. I just
Christ.
Said, get the fuck out of my office. I knew I was going to drop him.
But the next day, I had to take Myers down to recruit sales and change out his shoes. And by God, he turned it up. He turned it up a notch or two. And here's the thing.
You told me that. You came in here and said, hey, that little country
turn
motherfucker doing a good job out there. Like,
even by a third hat standard, he turned it up.
Right.
I was an EDI at the time. Or a heavy.
Shit,
but yeah, he turned it up a notch or two. And because Bodette's Bodette and he knows everyone, you knew that master sergeant that was at the recruit liaison section, the career recruiter. He was like the quality assurance. Remember that?
Master Guns.
Master Guns. He was the quality assurance. He was a career recruiter, and Myers was going to be an 0311. And Bodette said, "There's no way in the world I'm going to let recruit Meyers serve as an 0311 in my Marine Corps." So you talked to that master sergeant, and they were going to change his MOS at Training Day 54 when they run the recruit distribution model. And we're all lined up on the PT field, company commander, series commander, company staff, and you had given Myers the option to change his MOS. And all of a sudden, there's probably the entire company staff and 7 drill instructors standing on the PT field, and Big Country comes running up to us. It didn't request permission to speak.
No.
Just looked right at you and said, "Sir, I appreciate the offer, but I reckon I'm going to go ahead and stay infantry. Thanks a lot." Turns around and runs off.
I heard he did good in the fleet.
0300, you made it.
He made it.
I heard he did good in the fleet,
But
man.
that was Big Country.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't even tell you how abused that poor kid was. I seen him run by one day after you guys got hold of him. He had no skivvy shirt on and shit. Shit was ripped all over. And I was like, oh, God.
But you know what impressed me, and I did the same thing, was a lot of people would have hidden Big Country for final drill.
That's right. You remember that?
I remember you let him carry the final drill trophy, too.
I said, hey, motherfucker. I said, tomorrow's final drill, and all the recruits knew that the recruits that sucked the drill, a lot of the seniors would send them to medical. Yeah. I said, Country, you're going out for final drill tomorrow. You know why? Because you're not getting off this fucking island if you haven't done everything I've done. You're going out. I don't give a fuck if we lose. You're going out. and all the platoon was like, oh, shit. And that little motherfucker did everything right. Remember? I'd be like, hands, bags, and abs. And I'd look right at him.
Last recruit, first squad. That's how little he was. Last recruit, first squad. Little bitty feller.
I've got a question now that I've got 3.
No, hold up. It's getting better.
Okay, go ahead.
After we won final drill, we won.
Oh, you won it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I gave him the trophy, and I went home for a few days. Harden comes up to me and says, hey, country and put down that trophy for 3 days. Remember?
Bodette
He
told
carried
him
it
to
through
carry
shots.
the final drill trophy, and I couldn't get him to put it down.
What is he, like Rudy Rudiger from Rudy?
Yes.
Yeah, he had that little had a trophy. He brought it through
No.
shots.
Brought the
Lord.
shots, chow. I couldn't get him to put it down.
And I said, "This is yours." I said, "This is the trophy. We won. You don't let nobody fuck with this. You hold this until I get back."
He came back 3 days later, and I said, "You need to go to a big country to give up the final
You know,
drill trophy.
I-
'Cause
you know,
no one else
somet-
can get it from him."
Sometimes we struggle to hide kids. Sometimes they surprise us. I remember
That was a surprise.
The only one I got,
he
man,
was
and I'll, this is my DI story for today. It reminds me I had a kid, and he sucked. His name was Newhouse, and Newhouse was real bad. And we had the battalion commander's inspection. That's when it's like, that's kind of a gimme inspection. By that time, they got disciplined, and they come around, recruit Newhouse. He goes, "Well, what leadership billet did you hold while here at recruit training?" "I was the lost and found recruit, sir." Motherfucker was the lost recruit the whole cycle.
For those of you out there, there is no such thing as that.
He was a lost and found recruit.
Never give anything a name. You taught me that.
I did teach you that.
Never give anything a name.
Like when I sent that kid to goddamn medical, I used to have this thing called Smurf Jacks, which wasn't on your IT card.
It was not on the IT card.
Well, but they hurt. Doctor said, "How did this happen to you?" "Well, I was doing Smurf Jacks." They're like, "What the hell's a Smurf Jack?" Well,
Never give anything
never
a name.
give it a name.
Yep.
I was a lost and found recruit.
Yeah.
God damn it. You ask a recruit a question. God damn it, he's going to give you an answer.
Yes. Don't ask them a question if you don't want the answer.
No.
Man, so you were in the Pentagon during some strange years. How does the good
Politically, I want to know this.
how does the lieutenant colonel
I
survive
wanna
the
know
puzzle palace?
I want to
Here
know
we
how.
go.
First of all, let me tell you, he started off as an infantryman, right?
Yes. A very below average 0311.
Now
Whatever.
hold on.
He was an infantryman.
A below average 0311. Lima 33. Force Lima in America's battalion, by God.
And then he became a warrant officer, right?
Yeah, I lat moved to avionics in 97.
And then what happened after that?
So did my avionics time, was at MCS Beaufort, and then I chose my own fate because I saw the writing on the wall.
Oh boy.
And I knew after my 3 years, I was fenced off from the Hearst team, because back then it was called the Hearst team, Headquarters Recruiting Screening Team.
You're either going to be a security guard, a recruiter, or a hat.
And I was married as a Lance Corporal and had children, so you couldn't go to MSG unless you graduated the school. And I think you had to have 1 year time and grade as a staff sergeant when you graduated MSG school to be a deck commander. So back then there was only one option or two. You could be a drill instructor, or the Marine Corps would make you a recruiter. And
Yeah, you didn't want that.
I didn't want that. So I went from the air station to Paris Island for continuity for my family to stay there in Beaufort. And then after the drill field, Yuma, Arizona, and then deployment to Iraq. And then I was selected for warrant officer, and then went from warrant officer to limited duty officer, captain, did all those things, worked in acquisitions, and then ultimately made it to the rank of lieutenant colonel. And then I finished at the Pentagon.
What did you do at the Pentagon?
I was a staff officer for the Deputy Commandant of Aviation. I worked in the Aviation Sustainment Branch, which is where all of the aircraft maintenance officers, avionics officers, and aviation ordnance officers work. So everyone who maintains aircraft worked in the sustainment branch.
Did anybody there know that you almost went to jail when you were the staff sergeant for being a fucking drill instructor?
No,
Okay.
no one knew I almost went to jail. No one knew that I had multiple NCIS investigations at Paris Island. No one knew any
Good
of that.
Lord.
Because all that stays at Paris Island. And there was a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but wasn't it like 3 years after you
allegations,
left?
yeah.
3 years after you left.
I heard that, but I didn't believe that shit for one
No.
second.
Like we had a drill instructor service record book, and it was equivalent in the aviation world as the old MAT map, and it tracked all your career progression as a drill instructor. And the rumor was that 3 years after
Yeah, they throw it
they
away or something.
shredded it or some shit.
Yeah, I didn't
But
believe that
no,
shit.
I worked at the Pentagon
and
under
look,
the previous
we were
administration.
down there during some wild times, and there was a time right when we first got there, before you did, that they could have sergeant senior drill instructor, which was great. So if you're a grunt guy
Yeah.
that's been in for 8 years,
Well, right.
you're going to get your chance to be a senior over a guy that gets promoted to staff sergeant at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Well, 2nd Battalion was the wildest place on the island. The colonel said, he goes, they don't even get peace in the chow hall. You better be careful because you're going to go in the chow hall and a tray's going to go flying like Odd Job from 007. I mean, it was wild.
I was under Colonel Chase.
Yes.
You know, I ran into him in Florida.
Did you really?
He's a big biker now.
Shocking.
Long hair and shit. Yeah, he, I ain't going to tell you what club he's with, but he's a boss of a biker club in Florida. I walked into a bar down in Florida, and he looks at me and he goes, I know you. I said, you don't know me. He says, oh, I know you. And all of a sudden it hit me. I said, holy fuck, this was my battalion commander at Paris Island.
Jesus Christ.
And he was a badass. Remember, he took care of us. Yeah, he was a badass.
But those were guys getting in trouble. That was a dangerous time, man.
Dangerous time.
I remember me and Shane Goodrow were down there, and we had a kid die on the pool, and me and Shane revived him. I'm like, we're either getting a Navy Achievement Medal or we're getting Corporal.
Yeah.
Luckily, we brought him back to life.
Corporal, you going to prison.
Yeah, we brought him back to life.
There was a sergeant major that just recently retired that was not 10 feet to my right when a recruit had an embolism during CWS 4 during the 4-minute personal survival float. Eyes rolled back in his head. The drill instructor didn't even have to get in the water to pull him out. Just reached in and pulled him out, revived him. But he was under investigation for
Man.
forever.
See, that's some bullshit, man. I mean,
That's where they get you. You start asking a bunch of questions. And look, for people out there that don't understand, if you're not running in the gray, you're probably not making a Marine.
I agree.
And that work down there is it's thankful and thankless, and that's God's work.
It is God's work, but I mean, if you're down there just being malicious for no reason, you got to go.
There's always got to be a reason.
But every once in a while, God damn it, somebody's going to the deck.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Next topic, please.
That's what I was going to ask you earlier was how much of being a drill instructor is just you're an angry young man, and how much of it is you're trying to make the best Marine possible?
I'll tell you, this is the honest to God truth. I was usually more upset with other drill instructors than I ever was with recruits.
Absolutely.
And the way that I always saw this was I was never a drill instructor. I was a Marine on DI duty. And when that day was done, man, I hang the hat on the wall. It looks cool. And glad that I did it, but glad I didn't have to do it again.
Yeah, I put athletic tape when I returned sword from final drill the last time. Put athletic tape around my NCO sword because I swore I'd never draw it again.
Did you?
Like that was it. I was done, and never put on another campaign cover. And the greatest compliment I would get after that was, "You don't strike me as one who was a drill instructor."
You know what? When me and JC went to 3-6 together, what did we do, JC? Everybody knew that we were hats, right?
Yeah.
And they thought we were just going to come in there and act like hats. Did we?
No.
No. We went in there and act like infantrymen. Now, every once in a while, that motherfucker hat would peek his head out.
But we were good to kids, and I remember.
Tell them about what that kid said. We're not mentioning his name. We got these 2 drill instructors coming in here. JC heard him telling that story.
Well, we checked in, and we knew the unit wasn't ran well.
It was shitty.
And Bo got there a couple weeks before me, and that's a whole nother story. But first day I'm there, hey, Friday morning, health and comfort 05. Now, on the way over to the barracks, it's Camp Lejeune, it's foggy, and there's the duty NCO. Got dirty 2-tone camis, bad haircut, and you can hear a pin drop. Reveille hadn't been sounding. I don't think them boys got up at Reveille in probably a good 6 months.
Probably not.
So all of a sudden I hear this kid talking, Matthew Sample, Lance Corporal type, 1st platoon. He's like, and he has this goofy voice. We got these 2 guys off the drill field. They think they're going to come in here and change some shit. Well, they got another thing coming. Me and Bo look at each other. I'm like, boy, watch this. And I kind of we cut through the fog. And I'm like, who are you? Lance Corporal Sample, 1st platoon. I said, well, Lance Corporal Sample, I'm Staff Sergeant Knight. You might find this as a shock, but I'm your new 1st platoon sergeant, and that's Gunnery Sergeant Bodette. And we just come off of Paris Island. Nice to meet you. I said, why don't we do what the duty's supposed to? Let's go ahead and sound Reveille.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
He said, they got another thing coming.
Yeah. So, but grateful for the experience. Wouldn't want to do it a second time.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. No, I was done. We were all done.
Yeah. And if I would offer this advice to anybody that is thinking about going to do that, or anybody that already has but hasn't hung up the cloth yet, I will tell you this. We talk about the Native American. He wears a war bonnet. That is one feather in your war bonnet. And if that's all you ever do and hang your hat on as a Marine,
you missed the mark.
Your service was hollow.
Yeah, then you missed.
So there's more to stepping off on the
Left foot.
On the left foot.
Well, I didn't want to be a sergeant major, so I know I didn't want to go back and
Buddy,
do
I didn't
multiple
either.
tours as a drill instructor. Because if you look at the chain of command board, and ultimately most enlisted Marines want to be sergeant major, how do you become a sergeant major?
I got really turned off down there as I was leaving out the door. A guy told me I was killing my career, which, again, I don't care about a career. I'm a professional. I'm an infantryman.
Right.
And he said, you've got a chance to go to 8th and I to be a platoon sergeant. You want to go to a Victor unit? They're at war. That's where I belong.
Yeah, remember when they tried to keep me there to go to DI school?
Yeah.
To teach at DI school.
That would have been the worst thing
I
ever.
said, I am fucking out of here.
I belong with the Marines.
You're going to pass up this prestigious opportunity, the sergeant major. You're going to pass up this prestigious opportunity, 3-time drill instructor, sergeant major.
That's how you become a sergeant major, right?
Yeah.
Multiple
Oh,
SBA
yeah.
tours.
Pass this up, this prestigious opportunity to become an instructor at drill instructor school. You're going to pass this up to go to back to the grunts? I said, absolutely I am. Absolutely. Yeah. I need my orders. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I was gone. I was off like a prom dress, buddy.
That was my happiest day, I think, in the time I was in the Marine Corps, was driving off that causeway.
Oh, me
and
too.
And if they wouldn't have wrote me a ticket for littering, I would have flung that campaign cover right out the window.
Hey, buddy, I was like this, going out the front gate. I was like, ain't nobody follow me, is there? You know?
So talking about the impact that he had on my career, I think I'd like to mention one thing that was I'll never forget the impact that you had on Mark O'Brien, Corporal Mark O'Brien. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So this Marine lost an arm and a leg to an RPG in Ramadi. I think it was Ramadi.
It was.
And Bo calls me. He's like, hey, you remember O'Brien? I was like, yeah, tall kid. I think maybe 3rd or 4th squad on the big end. He said, I just got a phone call to go present him his Purple Heart at Bethesda National Naval Medical Center.
The amputee ward.
I was like, how in the hell how did they find you, number one? Number two, how is a gunny going to present a corporal a Purple Heart?
I just got back from Afghanistan.
I remember this.
And I got a phone call from the regimental Sergeant Major Bolton.
And then you hung up on him.
Yeah, because I thought he was fucking with me.
Right.
Yeah, and he called me right back and said, no. And he said, listen, were you the senior drill instructor for doing such and such? I said, oh, goddamn.
Here we go.
I said, please tell me, Sergeant Major, I just got back from Afghanistan. I can't handle an allegation right now. I said, no, Devil Dog, it ain't nothing like that. He said, you got a Marine right now in Bethesda missing his arm and his leg. And he was wounded bad in Iraq. And the commandant of the Marine Corps was going to pin his Purple Heart on him 2 days ago. And he said, no, thank you, sir. I want my senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Bodette, to do it. And the commandant looked at his staff and said, well, get that senior drill instructor up here then. He said, get your ass to Bethesda. I've already got your orders. Yeah. And I drove to Bethesda, and I walked in there. And there was a couple generals there, admirals and shit. Of course, the commandant wasn't there. Guess he wasn't invited.
By invitation only.
Your second string, buddy. Your second string.
I walked in, first of all, and I had all my uniforms with me because I was in constant contact with the female readiness casualty officer, which is a female, but she was a full-bird colonel. Her name was Colonel Franks. I still remember. She goes, Gunny, I'll meet you at the front. So I meet her at the front. I'm in civvies. I got all my uniforms, and she gives me a hug. Now,
Never had a full-bird colonel hug?
I've never had a female hug me in uniform. Never had a colonel hug me, that's for damn sure. She gives me a hug, and she said, Gunny, I'm so glad you're here, but you can't see him right yet. I said, is there problems? She goes, nope. He wanted to make sure he was shaved first before he saw you.
Man.
He didn't have a shave.
Damn.
Didn't have an arm or a leg either, but he
didn't have an arm or a leg, but he wanted to shave before he seen his senior drill instructor.
Damn.
I said, ma'am, what uniform do you want me in? She goes, well, Charlie's will be fine. She goes, you can use my office. So I change, and I walk up there. I walk in, and there's this line of Marines and sailors and doctors and shit. Now they're kind of making a spectacle. It's kind of pissing me off. There's some fucking gunny standing there with the Purple Heart and shit. Well, I snatched it from him. Attention to orders. And I read the Purple Heart citation. And that little triangle above your bed where the wounded, this badass grabbed it with his one arm and sat at the position of attention. So I gave it to him, and I pinned the purport on him. I sat down, and I said, I need everybody to fuck out of here now. They did. Everybody just turned right around and walked out. And I said, you're a badass. I love you. Your country loves you. He said, you know what, sir? When I was laying there wounded, I thought, what will my senior drill instructor do right now? And he said, you always told us as long as we made it through boot camp and we were not a piece of shit and you needed us, you'd be here, and you're here. I said, you're goddamn right. And I said, I ain't going nowhere. I sat there with him for 2 days.
It speaks to, doing it right. And I remember when we showed up in 2-8, was in country, when we had just left the drill field, and we were 3-6. And I got woke up, and this is crazy, Chris. This guy ended up being one of my best friends, retired Master Sergeant Nate Blanton, the best shooting human being on planet Earth. Great Marine. I get woke up. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. We've just landed at Bagram Airfield, and I'm asleep, and I get nudged. I hear this, Staff Sergeant Knight. There's this dirty kind of looking Lance Corporal. I said, yeah. He goes, Lance Corporal Blanton, 2008. I'm a sniper team leader. He goes, half a can of Copenhagen in his mouth. What AO you operating in? I said, well, we're going to Camp Blessing. He goes, man, that's a shithole. He goes, look, let me show you where you're going to get shot at there. And he gave me 3 sea bags full of everything to do bad things to bad people and some water purifiers.
There you go.
And he got done giving me that, and he gave me these sexy little headlamps. And when that goes down, he gives me all this stuff. And I
probably got him from the Shmoo.
And he goes, no, that was Iraq. That was time after that.
That's where you get the sexy stuff. Is at the Shmoo.
I got it.
This makes you feel good about the drill field thing. He goes, can you step outside real quick? Every infantry kid I had in platoon 2008, they all went to 2-8, and they're outside. There was 8 of them, and you know what they said to me? They said, "Everything you taught us kept us alive here." Man, come, dude. What do you say? I haven't even been in country and heard a round fired in anger, and I've got 8 of my kids walking up to me, and to this day, Nate is one of my best friends, and to have that guy in my life, man. If you do it right, the impact you have on these young men can't be measured. And I know you've got some of the same stories.
Hey, it echoes in eternity.
It echoes in eternity. What we do as a Lance Corporal, and hopefully throughout your career, will echo for eternity.
It echoes through eternity.
But that's the type of impact everyone, I think, every leader in the Marine Corps hopes that they could have on someone. So lose an arm and a leg, and the commandant's going to pin a purple heart on you. You say, no, thank you. I want my senior drill instructor.
My senior drill instructor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, look, goddammit, let's just hope there's not a 30-year statute of limitations on the shit we done. Somebody might come after our ass.
They could. They very well could.
Good luck finding me.
No kidding.
Come down to Bodette Holler, see how that works out for you.
Yeah, if a foreign power ever invades America, I'm quite sure they won't make it past the hollers of West Virginia.
I will guarantee that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna seize a trailer park and turn it into a fob, and put some LPOPs up on these hills.
Some piss tubes
with some lime.
Yeah.
Bodette's gonna hire a 2-fingered hillbilly to take care of the burn the shit.
Hey, let me tell you something. I hired you Bakhtar, remember?
And you asked him how he lost his fingers.
Yeah, we tried to put money. Well, we tried to win hearts and minds, of course. So we hired these locals. Well, this guy named Bakhtar come in. It's Afghani.
It's Blessing.
No, we were down at Gardez.
With a hook.
His old fucked up goddamn hand all blowed up. He wanted a job on base, and I was like, how did you lose them fucking fingers laying IEDs, didn't you, motherfucker? You ain't fooling me none, Bakhtar. I paid him $4 a day. He was supervised heavily, and he burnt every Marine shit in that goddamn camp.
For $4 a day.
$4 a day,
Money
son.
well spent.
Money well spent.
On December 1st, you were subject of a meritorious mass conducted by the company gunnery sergeant Kilo Company 36.
You wrote him a meritorious mass?
Hell no, I didn't write him no goddamn meritorious mass.
Damn it, Bo.
I don't remember you being very computer savvy.
Listen, buddy, no. I was not.
We were driving down the road today, JC, and you got a little ticked off. What's going on in your head?
Man, so we're checking a little national news today, and there's a lot of America sitting right here. There's about 70 years of 75 years of American freedom here in defense of this great nation. And I'm going to start off by saying I have never liked Bruce Springsteen's watered-down shit rock and roll. He has no guitar solos. He sucks. Now, he sucks even further after finding out this no-good son of a bitch goes over to Europe and panders to the European audience about how screwed up America is. Now, I don't care if you're left, right, libertarian, into witchcraft. I don't give a shit what you practice or what you do under our flag, but to go on foreign soil and bring discredit to the red, white, and blue, you're no friend of mine.
Look, the politics and the bullshit ends at the water's edge.
Amen.
We fix our shit in-house, right? You don't bring it to another fucking country, another nation, and start talking about, you know what, how about this, Bruce? Move there, motherfucker.
Yep. Adios, man.
Adios, amigo. Yeah, why don't you go down there and hang out with the cartel, jackass? Yeah. See how that works out for you.
Yeah. Born to run your ass on across the pond, scumbag.
Born to run. Yeah, run your ass over there. How about that, you fucking punk?
What he said. I'm more of a Kid Rock fan.
Yeah. I love Kid Rock.
Because he takes the Southern rock and he mixes it with the
Kid Rock's a fucking
hip-hop.
patriot.
And he loves America. So with that Seabass, Bruce Springsteen can take a high fly and fuck on a low rolling donut. We got no use for him here.
By God. You ever seen Harold and Kumar? One of my favorite quotes from that movie. George Bush said, "You don't have to love your government. You just have to love your country to be a good American." And I love it.
It's also like the great poet Ric Flair once said, you don't have to like it, but you better learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo! Well, there it is.
You know, I'm going to tell our enemies this. In the word of our great Ric Flair, and JC will help me finish it. You're not going to be the first,
but you might be next.
Stand by.
So let's just give everybody a little history lesson. Why is it important to have a constitution, and that it's so important we need to protect it? Since we have everybody just wanting to throw it away and wanting to shit on America all the time.
You know what? I think that question should be directed to the Colonel.
I think that we are unique in that in America, when you raise your right hand to protect and defend and support the Constitution of the United States of America, it's to an idea. It's to the Constitution. It's not to a king or a queen. It's not to any body or parliament. And this experiment in the constitutional republic that we have will continue to thrive as long as we support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and put that above all else. So whatever our disagreements are, as long as I think we hold fast to the Constitution, we'll be fine. Least favorite amendment would be the 18th, prohibition. My favorite would be the 21st, appealing prohibition. And I think right now my least favorite is the 14th, which I believe deals with birthright citizenship, which the Supreme Court is hearing that right now. And I never thought I would be in your garage in West Virginia talking about Supreme Court decisions in the 14th Amendment and why the Constitution is important. But I think that speaks to who we are as Americans and what we think is important.
You know what I find disturbing is people hate our president right now more than they love their country.
Yeah, we've polarized everything, right? Yeah. And
they don't even love their country no more. You know, I mean, they don't, and they claim they do. Well, no, you don't, son. No, you don't.
You know, the same people that will get on here and complain about America, and we're getting a little off track here, but this is my 2 cents on the whole thing. People get on here and talk about, you know, Muslim extremism and the rights of certain groups over in the Middle East. The same people that you're saying deserve special treatment and you want them to get away with all these bad activities, these are the same people that would hang you off the roof by your ankle and drop you on your head.
Right now, there are people over there that are training to kill you and your family, and they will love nothing more than to disrupt everything that you hold dear to your heart. Even you big libtards out there. They hate you. See, liberals think that the appeasement will make it easy and bring them people into their fold. No. They laugh at the appeasement. Am I right?
What you are is a useful idiot.
They laugh at the appeasement. They giggle behind your back and say, yeah, all right, yeah, we got you, but you're going to be the first one that I'm going to kill because you're the easiest.
Useful idiot.
Next question. AC/DC or ZZ Top?
The little band from Texas.
My
ZZ
man.
Top.
I love AC/DC, but man, Billy Gibbons, I'm going to go. Billy Gibbons is the coolest man in the history of the planet
If
to
I
ever
ever
walk.
hang out, buddy, I'd love to hang out with Billy Gibbons.
Have you seen the documentary?
Absolutely.
On Prime?
Oh, yeah.
I love it how they talk about the first dude that came to their show.
And he stayed there through
He just
the whole
stayed there through the
he was
whole thing.
only
And
one.
the only one.
And he still comes around.
The little band from
Man,
Texas.
ZZ Top makes me happy in my soul.
It does. Any song. Pick a song.
Right?
How.
Sharp Dressed Man.
Well, maybe we can end today's little session with
LaGrange.
some wisdom and some love for the country, for America's youth, because we talk a lot about how America's gotten soft and comfortable in a lot of ways, and that's kind of led to maybe where we're at with all these different issues we're dealing with. But what's something that you could pull from your own life experiences to help a young individual coming up in America today make a better life for themselves and their family?
The number one thing you can do is hold yourself accountable.
Motivation will come and go. Self-discipline is going to sustain you. It absolutely will.
Personal accountability. Coming from three gentlemen who have gotten soft and comfortable.
Shit.
But you paid for it on the front end.
You do.
You pay for it.
on the front
You
end.
pay a heavy toll on the front end.
I'm still as hard as Woodpecker Lips in Chinese math. Don't you listen to these two.
And you have the knees of a what?
We aren't telling anybody about that in case somebody out there doesn't like me.
Oh.
Because the idiots find me. Bill Bodette will attest to that. We don't need to tell them about the condition of my knee.
Okay.
I'm like Uncle Si on Dunk Commander. I got a trick knee.
Trick knee. He's got a trick knee.
It ain't broken. It ain't.
Or like Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter had a trick knee.
Well, I got a trick knee, and Jimmy Carter made it to like 113, so
He
I
did.
should be all right.
You need to start building houses for Habitat for Humanity.
Don't put it past me.
Okay.
Hey, I'll tell you, nobody likes a pussy.
No.
Listen.
Seabass, you've said it yourself. What are kids missing nowadays? Interpersonal violence. And
yeah.
we go to a group of kids right now. We go to a bar, and about 4 22-year-olds are sitting at a table. They're on their phone. When we were sitting in a bar in our 20s together, we're planning stuff, right? Bodette's got this going on, right? We're all planning, figuring out how.
What did I say the other day? What don't you see enough of in today's society with our kids?
You don't
Casts.
right?
There's no more cash.
Nobody has casts because nobody's doing shit.
Nobody-
Ain't nobody fucking goddamn handling business nowadays. Now they're sitting in their goddamn living room with their mom's basement in their drawers, smoking their fucking weed, playing their fucking goddamn whatever the fuck game it is, and they think that's reality. It ain't.
Yeah.
Son, reality is building a ramp, jumping off that motherfucker, breaking your arm, going to get in a fight, stealing your dad's cigarettes, him whipping your ass, and then going to school the next morning.
That's a good point. When
Today, you get a chai latte and you smoke your stuff through a vape pen.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
A vape. What the fuck is a vape? Jesus H. Christ.
It's a portable electronic nicotine injection system, a penis. You suck on it. But no, you make a good point. When we were growing up at the playground, second, third, fourth grade, it looked like the VA Med Center. Like
Yeah,
everybody
right.
had casts.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, can I throw something else out there while we're on this? Might even be off the subject a little bit.
Is it about penises?
No, it's not, but the people that do this might have small ones. Go bend the bill on your fucking ball cap.
Oh, Lord.
Am I good? Am I all right?
You're great.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be extreme like mine or his, but put a little bend in the ball cap.
I'm going to leave you with this. Bottom line, America needs more casts. Those of you that don't know what that is, that's when you break a fucking bone, they put it on you, and it's a big white thing that you got all the hot chicks in school to sign.
Yeah. And it itches when it gets hot.
It itches like a sumbitch, so you got to get a clothes hanger in there.
I just feel like we've moved away from all the things that are best in life. Period. Like I don't know how else to say it. It just feels like with the internet and just technology in general, I don't know how to bring that back, but it just feels like some of the companionship and brotherhood, like all the things
You
that
could try turkey. You could try turkey hunting.
Hey, I would tell anybody that you talk to, Seabass, if you're a young man if you're a boy trying to become a man, if it hurts while you're trying to achieve that, good. That means
Look,
you're growing.
This is a deal. What you have here, folks, this is absolute fucking reality. What the problem is also is people think their emotions are fact and reality, and it is not. What is reality is fucking fact. How about this? You're a woman. No, I'm a man. Or the guy says, no, I'm a man. No, you're a woman, vice versa, whatever. How about I kick you in the fucking face? That's reality.
You
Okay.
either see a gynecologist, a urologist, or a psychologist. Pick
Well,
one.
they definitely need to see a psychologist.
Pick one, right?
Listen, it's a mental disease. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
No, I agree.
Now, I do not doubt their humanity. All right, they're still human beings. You know that. Listen, I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to bash these people, but they just need help. You know.
Hey, look, I respect your humanity, but you have a suicide attempt rate that's near 50%.
Absolutely.
You got people that can't join the service because of asthma, flat feet, curved spine, certain
You want me to tell you something?
surgeries.
But they got shoes for
I
them
had
fellas
asthma.
with flat
I had
feet.
asthma. I had an asthma attack in boot camp, and I hit it, and I almost died because I wanted to be a Marine.
You were also the company high shooter.
Goddamn right I was.
Isn't that where they discover most snipers' abilities? Is on
Oh,
the range?
you missed out.
Here we go.
Discovered on the range.
Listen, don't get me wound up.
Is that how they do it?
Look, I'm happy today. I just
Don't
went
they-
to the VA and I had a good blood pressure, and the good lieutenant colonel breaks that one on me. Listen, if a guy ever approaches you and says, and as soon as he meets you, he doesn't try to establish any rapport with where he came from, Semper Fi, West Coast, East Coast. He immediately walks up and goes, Semper Fi, my talents were discovered on the rifle range. Little did you know that you just walked up on one of us.
One of them hogs.
Show the camera. Show
One
the
of them
camera.
hogs.
Tell these young folks watching here who may not know what that is on around your neck.
Okay. So
Those of us to the left of the good gunner are just pigs.
a hog is a hunter of gunmen. So if you've attended and graduated Marine Sniper School, and there is a God book somewhere, that's every guy that ever graduated, his name is in the book. So if a guy comes to you and says he's a Marine sniper,
Get the book.
Get the book, ask him what schoolhouse, which coast, and ask who was in school with him. So don't fuck that up like this guy did. I gave him the business.
So Gunner's a hog, and Bo and I are just pigs.
Well, that's great. But anyway,
Professionally
my mother
instructed
tells
gunmen.
me that I am in the book of life, according to Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir. Not today, Satan.
Not today.
Hey, can I throw another one on there? I guess there's a lot of swingers in West Virginia. And when people come up to me and they look at my arm and they go, "Oh, he's got a pineapple on his arm. He must be a swinger." No, this is a Marine gunner insignia on my arm. Now, when I'm really old and I've got an arm that's fallen off and it looks like an old flat pineapple, then maybe it'll look like a pineapple. But for those that don't know, that is a bursting
Give
bomb.
them a better look. Turn sideways here. Show.
What do pineapples
Boom.
have to do with anything?
Well, pineapples, if you ever see somebody with a pineapple, or was it upside down pineapple?
If you got an
right, or
upside down,
something?
if you see
It
somebody
means,
with an
it means,
upside,
hey, you can bang my wife. Or I'll bang yours, and you're fucking weirdos.
Hey, I will say something on a funny note about the bursting bomb. I used to have kids that would check in, and I would purposely put myself on the check-in sheet as the battalion gunner, as I should. And a bunch of new kids would check in, and they'd show up, and I'd be like, "Hey, nice to meet you guys. I am Chief Warrant Officer Knight. I am the battalion food service officer. Do you know where the pineapple that I wear on my collar came from?" They're like, they're all at parade rest. They're like, I'm like, "Stand at ease, gents." I said, the pineapple is in recognition of the Marine cooks that pulled all the sailors to safety during the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And since that day, the Marine food service officer has worn this pineapple with the highest esteem in remembrance of our cooks that pulled all the sailors to safety. So we'll be on out like a range. And some kid's like, "Oh, the food service officer guy's here," and some fucking sergeant, right? Some guy like Sergeant Bodette's like, "Motherfucker, that's the gunner." I'm like, "Time out!" I told him, "Time out." They're like, then somebody comes up like, "Gunner, you're gonna get that fucking kid killed."
The food service officer.
I had a kid look at me one day. He goes, "Do you miss being a grunt?" I said, "Motherfucker." I said, "I'm the gruntest motherfucker here. I'm the gunner." He's like, and he got all worried. I'm like, no. I said, 0306, Jack. There's 1,200 of us. I'm the one.
Did you have to explain to him the qualifications to become an 0306?
I did. I did.
And they are unique amongst the warrant officer community.
They absolutely are.
Because them and the career recruiters, if I'm not mistaken, are the only two that are commissioned immediately to CWO2, whereas Warrant Officer 1 is an appointed rank by the Secretary of the Navy.
And it's probationary.
It is for 18 months.
Yep.
Yeah, 18 months. Just like picking up CWO2 is like picking up Lance Corporal, as long as you don't get in trouble.
Right.
You got any more questions for us, Seabass?
That's a wrap, but can I got one more request?
Yep.
It's just so...
Yes, I shaved my balls.
It's so rare to have this much Marine experience in one location. Just period. I need like just 30 seconds. Just give me a little moto speech. Give me something. I just want whatever just comes through the spirit. Just channel it. I just need a little. Give me a little something. Hit me with something. One of you, all of you. I don't care.
Man, I'll start off. Check it out. If anybody ever tells you the Marine Corps is a service, I will tell you it's a cult and it should be viewed as such. If you interpret it like a Bible and you interpret it the right way, you are going to be a successful Marine and you're going to have lifelong friends, because it's all about the brotherhood. It's all about taking care of the guy to your left and your right, and it's set thousands, millions of people on the right path in this world. That's why you have senators, congressmen, famous actors, astronauts. When they die, they have a white tombstone that has their rank, United States Marine. It's the most special thing they've ever done, and anybody that you've ever met is going to tell you that it was United States Marine if they did it right.
I think the three of us probably represent the brotherhood in that we are probably more different than we were alike until we became Marines, until we served together. Unfortunately, I was not with these two gentlemen when they were forged together in the fires of combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. But I can tell you that in order to be successful as a Marine or as a civilian in a leadership responsibility, simply show up, be there, be invested in the accomplishment of your mission, be invested in the lives of your Marines or your personnel. And then to the Marines out there, your time in the Marine Corps, and I don't like saying my career in the Marine Corps.
That's right.
Because honestly, I didn't know I was going to have a career in the Marine Corps until I was promoted to major. That's when I knew, and that's when you go in for your lobotomy, when you pick up field grade officer. I'll tell you that your time in the Marine Corps, no matter how long you're in or how short of a time you're in, is like a peanut butter and shit sandwich. You're always going to have a little bit of shit on your peanut butter sandwich. But the longer you're in, the little bit less shit you get on your peanut butter and shit sandwich. But there will always be a little bit of shit in there. Early in your career, you get a whole lot of shit and a little bit of peanut butter. But as the time goes on, you get a lot more peanut butter, a little less shit. And that was explained to me by one of my mentors, Staff Sergeant Philip Jordan, who was my ITB instructor as a corporal, and then was a mentor to me, even though we weren't in the same battalion at Paris Island. And he was the first Marine that
he died. He died in war.
Silver Star recipient, Nasiriyah.
Yeah, Philip was
Nasiriyah.
he was the first Marine to be killed.
He was my neighbor at Paris Island.
While we were at Paris Island. So Staff Sergeant Philip Jordan was an amazing Marine, and I never thought I'd meet someone that would have a barracks named after him, but Jordan Hall in Quantico is named after him.
It's pretty awesome.
So he was the one who told me about the peanut butter and shit sandwich analogy.
Well, you heard it from two officers here, so I'm going to tell you how it really is.
Come on.
Bottom line is this. You want to be a jarhead, you want to be a fucking no-shit Marine. The only thing I could ask from you or demand from you, just don't be a pussy.